Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, my friends. Whatever time of day it is you are watching this video, on whatever means of technology currently at your disposal. On Saturday, August 9th, 2025, I joined my friends at the Metropolitan New York Bus Association's chapter of the Motor Bus Society for a 5-day trip to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We did stay in Oakville, Ontario, but on this trip, we visited facilities in Western New York, Toronto, Guelph, Waterloo, Kitchener, and Hamilton, Ontario. Our fourth day was an on our own day, which we all did our own separate trips. You'll see that later on. That Saturday morning, we met up just before 8 a.m. in front of the New York Times building on 8th Avenue, across the street from the Port Authority bus terminal. We boarded our bus, Coach Tours VIP 50, which I believe is a Motor Coach Industries J4500 series. Unfortunately, I'm not as familiar with their fleet roster as some of you might be. We drove via the Lincoln Tunnel to New Jersey, then made a quick stop at New Jersey Transit's Ramsey Route 17 station in order to pick up additional passengers. We then drove up 3 hours via Route 17, Interstate 81, and New York State Route 79 to our first stop, which was in Ithaca, New York. Our first stop was the Tompkins Consolidated Area Transit Garage on Willow Avenue in Ithaca, New York. Tompkins Consolidated Area Transit, or TCAT, is a private operator created by Cornell University, which serves Tompkins County, New York, up in the Finger Lakes region. In addition to serving the Ithaca metropolitan area, TCAT also serves Cornell University, Ithaca College, and SUNY Tompkins Cortland Community College. Let's take a look at some of the buses in that garage. The first bus we see is 1113, which is a 2011 Orion 7 Next Generation EPA 10 hybrid. EPA 10 refers to the EPA's 2010 emission standards. This is one of their older buses still in use. 7 of these were ordered, 5 of which are still in active use as of this recording. Here we have 1902. This is a 2019 New Flyer XD40 or Excelsior class bus. New Flyer Industries, headquartered in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, is one of the most popular manufacturers of buses in North America. If you live in cities like New York, Philadelphia, Miami, New Orleans, San Diego, or San Francisco, just to name a few, you'll see this model bus operating. And now we get to the newest equipment. Here we have bus number 2505, which is a 2025 40-foot low-floor bus, or Advantage class, made by the Gillig Corporation. You don't see Gillig's buses much in the New York City area, but some major cities, such as Buffalo, which is where we'll be going on our final day, Charlotte, Kansas City, and Seattle have ordered buses from Gillig. They're not exactly a personal favorite of some of my friends. As for me, I'm indifferent. Trains are more my thing. 2508 is another Gillig Advantage, but this is a 40-foot electric model. A total of 11 of these Gillig buses were ordered this year. 2501 to 2505 are diesel-powered, while 2506 to 2511 are electric-powered. Back to bus 1113. Why am I showing it again? Well, because we took a short ride on this bus to a separate TCAT storage lot. What was in this storage lot? You'll find out after the ride.
I love tonight. Mary, your lady friend here in the bus? Yes. You jump on my own. Okay, good. I don't mind the old lady. Right. So it's kind of like, okay, now, I think we So if you want to take pictures, we're going to make a 5-minute stop of the... You have to stay on schedule because Dick's hungry.
All right, we've arrived at the storage lot a few minutes away from the garage. What you see here are Proterra ZX5 models, which were delivered in 2021. These are battery-powered electric buses. Why are they here? Well, all of them are out of service. Why is that, you ask? Let's have a look at an article from the Ithaca Times. In the spring of 2024, TCAT 7 2021 Proterra battery electric buses were decommissioned after factory design flaws were discovered, deeming the vehicles unsafe. Gillig accelerated their timeline of producing the new buses to alleviate issues introduced by the removal of the Proterra buses. 2 new hybrid buses will be introduced in the spring of 2026, each displaying the same design created for the recently introduced diesels. So, next year the replacements will arrive. This is the equivalent of replacing a defective cell phone, if you ask me. After the visit to TCAT's facilities, we then went to have lunch in downtown Ithaca. For some reason, downtown Ithaca reminded me of being in Burlington, Vermont the year earlier on our way to Montreal. Very, very similar. Myself and a few others got lunch at the Jimmy John's on North Aurora and East Seneca Streets. After lunch, we then proceeded to make a final stop on the U.S. side for gas and personal items, edible and otherwise. We finally crossed the border at Niagara Falls along Interstate 190. This process was quicker than we anticipated, and we arrived at our dinner stop at approximately 6:30 p.m. Our dinner stop was Montana's Barbecue in St. Catharines, Ontario. Originally, we were scheduled to eat at a nearby restaurant called Kelsey's, but they apparently no longer accept groups on Saturday. Nonetheless, we had an excellent meal. Here you see my plate, a 7-ounce New York sirloin with a loaded baked potato and some coleslaw. It was good. We arrived at the Holiday Inn in Oakville, Ontario a little after 9 p.m. Check-in was a breeze, and I was lucky enough to get a room on the top floor of the hotel. And with this, day 1 of our little 5-day journey has concluded. It is now Sunday, August 10th. So I woke up a little after 6 a.m. and went downstairs to use the gym because after all of the calories I was about to consume, it was necessary. Trust me. After showering and doing whatever humans normally do in the morning, I went to get breakfast over at the Tim Hortons on Cross Avenue. We then met up in front of the hotel at 9 a.m. and boarded our coach tours bus. We then drove via Ontario Route 403 to our first destination at the Eglinton Square Shopping Center on Eglinton Avenue East and Pharmacy Avenue in Toronto, which we arrived at just before 10 a.m. We switched over to the bus you see on your screen. This is a 1967 General Motors Diesel Division New Look, or Fishbowl, bus number 3380, which is owned by Rapido Trains, which is a model train manufacturer based in nearby Markham, Ontario. 3380 has a bit of a history up in Western Canada. It belonged to Perimeter Transportation, which is a now defunct private operator in Vancouver, British Columbia. Prior to that, it belonged to Calgary Transit, where it was numbered 606. And prior to Calgary Transit, it belonged to a private operator based out of Calgary, Alberta, Pacific Western Transportation, where it was numbered 656. Rapido purchased this bus back in 2016. While at the Eglinton Square Shopping Center, we also had an opportunity to see a future rapid transit service being tested. The Toronto Transit Commission's Line 5, which is a streetcar subway line that is currently being built along Eglinton Avenue. Phase 1 will be between Mount Dennis on the western end and the Kennedy Station in Scarborough on the eastern end, where it connects to GO Transit's Stouffville line. GO Transit, or Government of Ontario Transit, provides regional bus and railroad service in the Greater Toronto area, but you'll see more of that later. Here we see a Line 5 rail car in testing. Car 6215 is on the lead. This is an early 2020s Flexity Freedom series made by Canadian manufacturer Bombardier. A total of 76 cars were ordered and will be used for Line 5 service. The supposed opening of the first phase of Line 5 will be either late 2025 or sometime in 2026. This was the best I could do with this shot. Bus 3380 with one of the Flexity Freedoms being tested on Line 5. Here we have some testing going on at the soon-to-be pharmacy station. 6233 coming in eastbound. Now, I know that in the railroad, there's only two directions, north and south. However, in this case, I'm not sure which terminal is north and which terminal is south. 6201 on that same eastbound consist at pharmacy station. Here's 6222. This is a westbound test train. And now, let's do some video footage at pharmacy station. And now, let's take a ride on bus number 3380 along Eglinton.
Sure, when they had the motor bus society out, no BHA out in Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Actually, I have a Port Authority shirt I bought from the Pittsburgh convention in June.
We had stopped came once on the 4th or something.
You're doing 2 garage visits,
Yeah, there's no language.
Are they ready for us?
It's hard to remember.
The exhaust rate, I think that's my prophecy.
Yeah, those are our schools down here.
These are our school projects. I guess we can get a visit to Nickel.
Cheers, everyone. Yeah.
McNichols where the TBC fishbowl is, right? 2252.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do it.
That's Verdi.
Maybe
He's here.
Maybe should have asked him about the CBC. He had to go shopping at the store, so maybe
If anyone's got his number, call him and ask him.
yeah. CBC.
I'm feeling the heat back
Hey, Mario, do you know how many cars in the fleet that they have?
76.
76? Okay.
76 altogether. 6,275.
Okay, well, they're already 10 years old.
Seven. 2018. 2018.
One place 2018.
Yeah, because the line was supposed to be was planned to be up and running by 2019 originally.
Wow. Yes.
That's the reason why they went with other. That's why they went with all Siemens cars for Finch to speed up the deliveries.
Yeah.
In hindsight, they didn't need to do that.
This ain't gonna open until next year, at least. There's no way they're gonna open this for this year. I'm hearing you're already having problems with the Alfie saying the VOPC, all the other computer-related signaling issues they have right now.
Well, yeah, we didn't drive. What was it? Friday?
It hasn't even
No,
completed.
Thursday. Thursday we didn't drive because we were having issues on the line.
Has it completed one shake test at least successfully? Okay.
Shake test. In the tunnel, that's all they do is like when there's breaking news. Yeah, the oscillation is really bad on some of the cars. It's more prevalent when the trains are breaking coming into the station.
Really?
Great.
So you're gonna tell me the tunnels are leaking already?
Some places are.
No.
Yeah, it's like for us drivers, it's been great. It's like a vacation. Half the time. We've been down there for like 5 months now. We haven't driven half the time. Just have a division. Somebody went for a relief. Somebody went for a 34% division. It's just happens. I guess it's probably the one that's getting his coffee and step back. Probably have to wait in line. Like when the trains work, they are fun to drive. I enjoy driving them. Like I said, the biggest issue with that is the oscillation.
They need bigger trains. They don't make trains up 3 and 5. Just for.
I don't know. I heard the biggest issue is the rails. They went with flat rails instead of curved rail, so it's affecting the ride. It's probably a tail. This is more. He's more of a rail person than I am.
Well, they have the DC Street Corps too. Yeah, right.
So who's the lucky division now?
That's why on the most recent transfer list, drivers that want to transfer, like 200 drivers want to transfer to LRT. It's like good luck with that.
We were taking photos just here yesterday, and Ferdy pointed out that the
That's the big house over there.
Yeah, that's Metro East, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know? Oh, yeah.
Metro East, yeah.
Yeah, Metro East Detention Center. Yeah.
Metro West closed and
Did
merged
they?
with Mimico. That's why it's called Toronto South Detention Center.
Okay.
Yeah, because Metro West used to be up on Disco Road, near the top end of the bus mall.
Oh, is that where that was? Okay.
Yeah, Disco and Carlingview.
Oh,
Right near the 409, 427 area. Yeah, they tore it down. Right in the lot. They left it there since. I guess we're going to the first one first. Yeah. Yeah, Toronto South used to be like half the size.
Well, I hear Mimico's a
10 plus years, well, 10 years, 10 or so years ago, yeah, they expanded it. It's like a fortress.
Yes. Is there anything at the north end, or is it east and west? The gym?
East and west.
Oh, that's it.
We're gonna get a picture of a light rail passing this, everybody.
So now we're at Eglinton Avenue East and Birchmount Road for more photos. Here's bus 3380 with Flexity Freedom Light Rail car 6245. Here's 3380 with a ProMaster bus made by a company called Arbach. This is W823. This is part of the Wheels Trans service, which is Toronto's equivalent of New York's Access-A-Ride. Here's our first shot of a TTC bus, 8825, operating in 34A service. This is a 2017 LFS model made by Nova Bus. This is a popular model in many American and Canadian cities such as New York, Toronto, Chicago, Baltimore, Montreal, Quebec City, and San Juan, Puerto Rico, just to name a few, since I don't want to make this a 4-hour video. We actually had the pleasure of visiting their old plant in Plattsburgh, New York a year ago. Unfortunately, as of March of this year, that plant has been closed, and the buses are now produced at their plant in the province of Quebec. Here's Railcar 6211 in testing. This is the best I could do with this shot. Damn those cars. And here it is at the soon-to-be Birchmount station, which will be the third to last stop before reaching Kennedy. It is now about 11:15 a.m., and we're at the Toronto Transit Commission's Birchmount Garage on Danforth Road in Scarborough, Ontario. This garage has been in operation since June of 1956. This is the first of 2 TTC garages we're going to be visiting on this day. Let's take a look at some of the buses in this garage. The first bus we see is 3722, which is a 2019 New Flyer XE40 Excelsior battery electric. TTC ordered 25 of these, the majority of which are assigned to the Arrow Garage up in the North York section of Toronto. 6064 is a 2024 New Flyer Excelsior electric. While 3722 uses an engine from Siemens, 6064's engine is from Accelera, which is the zero emissions brand from the company Cummins. And now for some Nova Bus LFS equipment. The following are all 2015 models. Here's 8416, 8418, 8444, 8449, 8458, 8467, and 8483. 8526 is a 2016 Nova Bus LFS, as is 8582, while 8933 is a 2017 Nova Bus LFS. Here we have 6064 on the right, the 2024 New Flyer Electric Excelsior, while on the left is 3715, a 2019 Electric Excelsior. And here's these same 2 buses with our Rapido Fishbowl, 3380. 6023 and 6019 are both 2024 New Flyer Electric Excelsior models. Now we got 8933, 3715, and 6064 with our Rapido Fishbowl, 3380. Same 4 buses, just in a different order. Okay, back to 6064, the 2024 New Flyer Excelsior Electric. What do you say we take a short ride on this baby?
See Vancouver. I like, you know, I like old Vancouver. I like the if you buy buses like latest innovation, they always go against a lot of stuff. You know, they always be loads overhead, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All the electric buses are here, not in service.
Well, there's a few up there, and this is like a couple. If Patrick was a hero, he'd be like reprogram all this speed doors.
Yeah, as usual, they always put one on the 12 every Sunday.
It's easier for me to ride.
Oh, okay.
Side by side shots of hose.
No, I think that's a poster bus. That's a 3700. I guess they're gonna try to get every
Three by three here.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what's funny? DC's look exactly like Calgary.
Yeah, they are.
Stay here if you want. That's me. I'm getting up to take the car.
It is now a little after 12:15 p.m., and we head on over for a visit to the TTC's Eglinton Bus Garage, located on Leibovitz Avenue and Comstock Road, not too far from where we began this day. Let's take a look at some of the equipment in this garage. 3715 came along with us from the Birchmount Garage, the 2024 New Flyer Excelsior Electric. Here we have bus 3751. This is a 2019 K9M model made by BYD Auto, which is a Chinese automobile manufacturer. A total of 10 of these were purchased by TTC. A couple of more New Flyer Excelsior Electrics. Here's 6046 and 6054. Here we have 6602. This is a brand new 2025 NovaBus LFS E Plus, a battery electric NovaBus LFS. Everything purchased as of 2024 will be battery electric. Here's a non-electric NovaBus LFS, bus 8665, a 2017 NovaBus LFS with the advertisement wrapped for Fizz Mobile, which is a prepaid wireless service provided by French-Canadian telecom company Videotron. And 8693, another 2017 NovaBus model. This is also a 2017 NovaBus model, 8770. Buses 8720 to 8964, all 2017 NovaBus LFS models, got some modifications done to them, such as GPS upgrades, seat modifications, and Wi-Fi enabling. Couple of group shots now. We got 6602, 3751, and 6054. And here are those same three, but with our Rapido fishbowl, 3380 on the left. At about 1:15, we arrived at our lunch stop at the Scarborough Town Center in Scarborough, Ontario. I was talked into trying out this place called Poulet Rouge, which is a grilled chicken bowl chain up in Canada. I got mine with quinoa, lettuce, cheese, black olives, and other assorted items. Not exactly low calorie, as you can see. Our last stop before returning back to the hotel was the Skyway Coach Lines garage in Markham, Ontario. This is a private Canadian charter company, which is also a contractor for German charter bus company Flixbus. Some of its services include Toronto to New York City, Montreal to New York City, and Toronto to Ottawa, just to name a few. The first bus we see at the garage is bus number 1029. You see it here in the Go Transit scheme, however, this bus is actually owned by our friends at Rapido Trains. This is a 1971 GMC New Look, or fishbowl, with an 8-cylinder engine. This bus first belonged to Golden Gate Transit in the San Francisco Bay Area until it was retired and sold off to a private bus company and later purchased by Rapido. These guys did a pretty decent job with the old Go Transit livery, not gonna lie. Here we have bus 3997. This is a 1995 New Flyer C40LF. This bus ran on compressed natural gas power instead of gasoline or an electric engine. This bus originally belonged to the South Coast British Columbia Authority, or TransLink, which operates bus service in the city of Vancouver and was numbered 3270. It was converted to a diesel bus sometime in the mid-2000s. This is bus 222. It belongs to Brown Coach Lines, which is a private charter company out of Amsterdam, New York. It is a Prevost H345 model, a 45-foot 3-axle bus. Now here's one that actually does belong to Skyway, bus 9680. It's a 2012 Prevost X345 bus. The X Series is a newer version of the coach bus as opposed to the H Series. Plus, the H Series has a fiberglass exterior, while the X Series has a stainless steel exterior. The 3 refers to the number of axles, while the 45 refers to the length, 45 feet. And here we have former Vancouver bus 3997 with the Rapido Fishbowl 3380. After dropping off some of our guests at the Shepherd Young subway station and saying goodbye to bus 3380, we then headed back to the hotel. There was a bus waiting for us outside the Holiday Inn. A friend of ours brought a retired 2003 Orion 5. Now, if my information is correct, this bus used to belong to Ajax Transit, later Ajax Pickering Transit, and later Durham Regional Transit, which was created by a 2006 merger between Southern Ontario operators Ajax Pickering Transit, Whitby Transit, Oshawa Transit, and Clarington Transit. So anyway, I went up to my hotel room just to drop off my bag with the camera and other items, and I decided to give a little live tour of my hotel room. Here we see the bathroom. Now, you all know what a bathroom looks like, but I wanted to show you the shower. I love not having to lift up my legs in order to get into the shower. Don't you just love my cell phone camera control? There's my king-size bed, nice and comfy. I had my tablet charging on the nightstand. Now, I did not turn on the TV in my room, not even once. I watch TV on my tablet. The TV is kind of ancient at this point and would not support Wi-Fi. And there's the TV. I told you, look kind of old. There's my copy of the trip itinerary. My 2 backup GoPro batteries because I needed as much battery power as I could get. And now the view out the window. This was looking west toward the Queen Elizabeth Way, aka Highway 403. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the tour and my lackluster camera control. I went downstairs to meet up with friends, and we went to dinner at Swiss Chalet, which is kind of Canada's version of Applebee's. Here's what I had, a classic burger and poutine. How does one go to Canada and not have poutine? Exactly. Alright, so that does it for day 2. Alright, it is now Monday, the first weekday of the trip. On this day, we will be traveling outside of the Oakville, Toronto area. I got up around 5:30 in the morning to do about 25 minutes on the elliptical and then went to the McDonald's on Cross Avenue to get breakfast. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit disappointed. The eggs seem to be made in the same style as Dunkin' Donuts in the United States. I prefer my eggs scrambled, not fried. We met up at 8 a.m. on our Coach Tours bus and headed for our first stop, which was in Guelph, Ontario. We arrived at Guelph Transit Central Station on Carden Street a little after 9 a.m. Guelph Central Station serves not only bus service, but also railroad service, both Go Transit on its Kitchener line between Toronto and Kitchener, as well as Via Rail, that's Canada's version of Amtrak for you Americans, and their corridor between Toronto and Sarnia, Ontario. I did want to get some railroad pictures or video, but no trains were passing through due to track work. So anyway, bus pictures. Here we have Guelph Transit Commission Bus 202. This is a 2008 Nova Bus LFS model. 214 is also a 2008 Nova Bus LFS. You see it here on Carden Street and Wyndham Street North in 10 service, wrapped in a Gino's Pizza ad. Here's 217, another 2009 Nova Bus LFS in 4 service. 241, a 2014 Nova Bus LFS in 99 mainline service going north, which doesn't terminate at Guelph Central Station, but simply makes a stop here in between. Here's 257, a 2017 Nova Bus LFS model. As you can see, Nova Bus and New Flyer are the biggest manufacturers of transit buses in North America. 268, another 2017 Nova Bus LFS. This one is running in 99 mainline service going south. Here's 272 in 14 service with a bike on the bike rack. Here we have 276. This is a 2020 Nova Bus LFS model. It was the first of the 2020 order. This one's running in 8 service. And here's the last of the 2020 Nova Bus LFS orders. 280 in 99 mainline service going north. Yes, only 5 of these were ordered in the year 2020. All right, now we get to the electric order, which began in 2022. Here's 288, a 2022 Nova Bus LFS electric in 99 service going north. And here we have the first of the 2023 electric order, 289 in 12 service. Another 2023 electric, 291 in 3 service. And here we have one of Go Transit's equipment, 8514. This is a 2019 Alexander Dennis Enviro 500 Superlow double-decker model. Alexander Dennis is a British bus manufacturer, and you know how they love those double-decker buses in the United Kingdom. Now, as for Go Transit, they run regional bus service out of Guelph to cities such as Kitchener, Waterloo, Hamilton, and Mississauga, just to name a few. We might just be visiting some of these places later today. All right, it is now a little after 10:30 in the morning, and we find ourselves in the city of Kitchener, Ontario. If you're from the New York City or northern New Jersey area, and you've followed the game of hockey for at least the past 30 years, Kitchener is the hometown of former New Jersey Devils defenseman and captain Scott Stevens. Also, former boxer Lennox Lewis moved to this city with his family at the age of 12, and he even played high school basketball here. So anyway, we are at the Fairway station on Kitchener Ion Rapid Transit Light Rail. The Ion Rapid Transit serves the regional municipality of Waterloo, a metropolitan area in Ontario which comprises 3 cities, Kitchener, Cambridge, and Waterloo. In addition to the light rail, we also have bus service provided by Grand River Transit, which provides bus service for the regional municipality of Waterloo. Bus 22104 in 6 service to Conestoga Station, which is where we might be going soon. This is a 2021 Nova Bus Hybrid Electric LFS. And this is bus 22318 in 8 service. This is a 2023 Nova Bus Hybrid Electric LFS model. And here we have our light rail. This is car 515A. The other car is 515B. This is a 2021 Bombardier Flexity Freedom model. Yes, the same ones we saw in Toronto. 515 is actually the youngest of the fleet, as it was delivered in 2021, while the other 14 cars were delivered in 2017 and 2018. Light rail service did not debut until June of 2019. And now, let's take a ride on the Ion Rapid Transit Light Rail.
line station. Doors open on the left. station. Doors open on the left. Station. Doors open on the left. Market Station. Doors open on the left. Station. Doors open on the right. Central Station. Doors open on the right. Connect to GRT buses, Go Transit, and via rail. River Hospital Station. Doors open on the left. Station. Doors open on the left. Waterloo Public Square Station. Doors open on the left. University of Waterloo Station. Doors open on the left. Connect to GRT buses and Go Transit. Research and Technology Station. Doors open on the left. Field Station. Doors open on the left. Station. Last stop.
So now we make it to the Conestoga station for our lunch stop at the Conestoga Mall. All I had was coffee and a pastry from Tim Hortons, since I wanted to save room for dinner later that night. Plus, I had to find a Best Buy so I could buy a new SD card for my GoPro camera. The old one was already filling up fast. Originally, we were supposed to head to the Waterloo Central Railway, which is a tourist heritage railroad. Unfortunately, they were not open on that day. So we then headed for our next scheduled destination at Grand River Transit's Ainslie Street Terminal in Cambridge, Ontario. Right across the street is the Mill Street Armory. For those of you who are into military vehicles, there's an old Canadian tank. Here we've got bus 21761 and 302 Ion service. This is a bus service run by Grand River Transit between Ainslie Terminal and the Fairway Light Rail Station in Kitchener, sort of a connector service. 21761 is a 2017 New Flyer XD40 or Excelsior model. By the way, the X stands for Excelsior model, the D stands for diesel powered, and it is a 40-foot bus. The more you know. 21762 is also a 2017 New Flyer Excelsior. As you can see, I kind of messed up, and I kept the auto white balance on the camera. You're going to be seeing that a lot in the next few photos. 21766, another 2017 New Flyer XD40 in 302 service. This is bus 21705. It is a 2017 New Flyer XD40 or Excelsior. 21719 is another 2017 New Flyer Excelsior. The difference between 21719 and 21705 is that 21719 uses a transmission from Voith, while the former uses a transmission from ZF Friedrichshafen, which are both German companies. 21724, another 2017 New Flyer XD40 running in 58 service. And now for some Nova Bus equipment. Here we have bus 22002, a 2020 Nova Bus LFS model. 22006, another 2020 Nova Bus LFS in 51B service with the armory in the background. More 2020 Nova Bus LFS equipment. Here's 22017 in 63 service. Here's an example of how tough it is to take photos on sunny days. 22020 in 51B service. And 22021 in 51A service. Grand River Transit's 51 route has two branches out of Ainsley Terminal. One runs north while the other one runs east. All right, it is now time to head to our next destination in Hamilton, Ontario. We are now at the Hamilton Street Railway Garage in Hamilton. This is one of the oldest transit systems in North America, as it has been around since 1873. Now, why is it called Hamilton Street Railway when it operates buses? Well, because originally it was a horse car operator and later an electric streetcar or trolley operator. The majority of the fleet in this garage is natural gas powered. Here we've got a bus that's no longer used in regular service. This is 411, a 2005 New Flyer D40 LF model. This is Hamilton's equivalent of New York City Transit's old MetroCard bus. I wonder what's going to become of that once the MetroCard is phased out. Anyway, this bus is only used for public relations purposes these days. Here we've got some more retired equipment. 1001, a 2010 New Flyer D40 LF. 1004, another 2010 New Flyer D40 LF. 1007, wrapped in an ad for a law firm. And 1011. The aforementioned four buses I just showed you, the 2010 New Flyer D40 LF models, are now only used for training purposes. Now, what is this? This is bus number 71. Okay, so this looks like a bus from the early part of the 20th century, but it's not. It is a 2007 Champlain 1608 low-floor bus made by DuPont Industries. No, not the chemical company. This DuPont is based out of Quebec City and is a manufacturer of replica trolleys. These models were built for the Hamilton Street Railway, as well as Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. As you can see, this bus is actually sporting the heritage colors of Hamilton Street Railway, maroon and cream. Here we have 1220. This is a New Flyer XD40 Excelsior model made in the year 2012. 1221, another 2012 New Flyer XD40. And here's 1222, another 2012 New Flyer Excelsior model. As you could probably already determine yourself, this bus was involved in an accident at the beginning of 2025. Don't ask me for details because I don't know anything further. I know nothing. And now we get a look at our natural gas-powered buses. Here's 1629. This is a 2016 Nova Bus LFS natural gas model. By the way, LFS stands for Low Floor Series. Low floor buses have become standard in city transit systems due to accessibility laws for disabled people. Here we have 1705, a 2018 Novabus LFS NG model. And 1716, also a 2018 Novabus LFS natural gas. 1804 is another 2018 Novabus LFS NG. As you can see, it's wrapped in a Hamilton Street Railway ad. Another 2018 natural gas powered Novabus, 1806. Here we have 1829. This is a 2019 New Flyer XN60, a 60-foot natural gas powered Excelsior. The N stands for CNG, or compressed natural gas. Now check out 1842. This is a Canadian-made bus. It was made by Grand West Transportation, now known as Vicinity Motor Corporation. It is a 2018 Vicinity Classic CNG model. Many other Canadian transit systems such as Calgary, Edmonton, Yellowknife, Oakville, and even the regional bus provider in the Montreal area, EXO, have purchased buses from Vicinity. Back to the Novabus equipment. This is 2110, a 2022 Novabus LFS NG. The same with 2113 and 2119. And there's 2022, yet another 2022 Novabus LFS natural gas model. Now it's easy for you to remember what year this bus was made. 2255, a 2023 Novabus LFS NG. The same goes for 2276 and also 2282. Here we see 2356. This is a 2023 New Flyer XN60, a CNG-powered 60-foot articulated Excelsior. Now what do we have here? This is bus 1822. This is a 2019 New Flyer XN60, 60-foot articulated CNG Excelsior. Check out the wrap. Back in 2023, the Hamilton Street Railway celebrated their 150th anniversary, so they wrapped this bus in one of their old liveries. As well as 2206, a 2022 Novabus LFS NG. 2206 is in the old maroon and cream scheme that HSR used back in the day. Here we have a couple of shots of both buses side by side. This one here is my favorite. I got this shot from the hill at the end of the garage. I just wish I hadn't forgotten to turn off the damn auto white balance. Alright, so we left Hamilton at about 4:15 p.m. and we were dropped off at our hotel in Oakville. After dropping off a few things and freshening up, a group of us went a few blocks away to the Oakville GO Transit Station. This station, which is just a few steps from our hotel, serves GO Transit's Lakeshore West service between Toronto's Union Station and Niagara Falls. It also serves Via Rail trains between Toronto and Windsor, as well as the Via Rail Amtrak Maple Leaf train, which runs from New York City to Toronto. In addition, we've got some bus service from GO Transit, as well as Oakville Transit. We first decided to photograph some buses leaving the station on Cross Avenue. The first bus we see here is 1204. This is a 2012 New Flyer XD40 Excelsior running in 4 service. The Oakville station is merely an in-between stop for 4 service. It basically runs parallel to the GO Transit Lakeshore West between 2 of its stations, Bronte and Oakville on the west and Clarkson and Mississauga on the east. Here's 1704, a 2017 Novabus LFS, finishing up its day. Bus 1903 is a 2019 Novabus LFS model running in 1 service, serving Trafalgar Road, which is a major thoroughfare in Oakville. 1202, another New Flyer 2012 Excelsior model in 13 service. 2026, this is actually a 2021 Novabus LFS running in 28 service. 1902, 2019 LFS model by Novabus running in 14 service. The other terminal is the Appleby station on GO Transit's Lakeshore West in Burlington, Ontario. 1701, 2017 Novabus LFS in 20 service. And here's an example of how Canada is going 100% electric with its buses. 2404, a 2024 Novabus LFS E+. Oakville Transit even advertising the fact that they're electric. Here we have another Novabus LFS Electric, 2401. Bus 2024 and 4 service. This is a 2021 Novabus LFS, non-electric. And that does it for the bus photos. Now we ride the railroad. We caught a Lakeshore West train to our dinner location in Toronto. So now it's time for a ride between Oakville and Toronto's Exhibition Station.
Clarkson is our next station stop. Clarkson. An important reminder for our Long Branch passengers is for our Long Branch passengers only. Due to platform restrictions, the following coaches will not be opening their doors at Long Branch Station. Those coaches are numbered 306, 4156, 4206, 4054, 4115, 4241, and finally 2010. Those are the 7 most rear coaches of this train, so if you are looking to exit at Long Branch, you must make your way through the train in the direction it's currently traveling. Please speed by me and click on the 25 feet where the doors will be opening.
Yeah, it's behind us.
It's at the wine.
They're not open at the
Jackson Triggs. Yeah, they've got
next stop, I guess, because
I think a very small version on the platform.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, very small.
He said it's some random like US band or
No,
something.
they're UK, aren't they?
They're not, they're Canadian.
Oh, okay. Wait, I can actually, yeah, like, he actually told me. So I was like, what? I've never heard this.
That question said that they're banning the USS.
Oh, he said, yeah, band called USS. They're massive in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably just like making shit up.
Yeah.
Like literally trying to make it sound so sick, and I'm like, I don't even know what I should have known that, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, it will, like, it'll be a fun day. But, yeah, I don't know, we didn't, nothing's been booked yet. We were browsing at Airbnbs, and then there's one Airbnb that like looked really cool. Has like a pool and stuff, so I don't know. We were thinking like if we spent a little bit more on the Airbnb, like $100, let's say, then maybe it'd be cheaper too. Wouldn't have to go out to like wineries all day or like go out after the
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for like a nice place at Niagara on the Lake.
Yeah.
Maybe like a place on the water. Actually, I don't know. Is the water there? It's like,
I think the only thing is like the Airbnb for the ones that were like nice and would accommodate all of us, or like 15 minutes drive to like Niagara on the Lake kind of thing.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean whatever. Like something in the world. Because the wineries are so big, they're like far, and they take a lot of room, you know?
True. It's
Like farmland areas.
Yeah.
I think it was actually 15 minutes to Jackson Triggs from the place we were looking at. But to go downtown Niagara on the Lake, I think it would be probably 10 minutes a little bit further.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just like, oh my god, like, his cousin, like, the one that bought a house in, what's it called? Hitch Garden with her friend. It's like a
Wait, is
Is she the one that like boyfriend's like the guy that your mom texted you about? Remember his mom texted her like yeah, like just like likes to party.
So the two of them, when they're together, they get into some stuff. But she.
Well, then they haven't spent like a lot of time together this summer.
Yeah, they do. Because they get along so well.
Yeah.
To each other.
Because like Logan's been going to that place opening party.
Yeah.
Because that's what the family reunion was, right? That's where you guys were.
Well, we did go to a family reunion there, like,
where were you just now?
we went to like that was like a random, like a park where like they rented cottages that was called Golden Beach Resort.
Oh, okay. This east. It's called this east?
No, it's east. Like it's
Golden Beach.
yeah, it's like an hour and a half east from.
But nobody owns the property, just rent it.
I see.
But yeah, I guess the two of them hung out.
Yeah.
And decided it would be a good idea.
That's so funny. How did they even find this event?
They both, I guess they thought his uncle Mike lives there, but his uncle Mike and his aunt Carol are like very posh. Like they have like a beautiful house in Niagara on the lake. Like they don't need big, so they're very like, they're very well off and just very content with their lives. You know, yeah, they're very like chill and whatever.
Robin and Clarkson.
Logan, for some reason, I guess, I don't know how they got on it. They thought it would be a good idea to buy tickets to that. They should probably stay at his house. And when we were at the family reunion, Logan was like hammered. And he was like, Mike, you got these tickets to this concert. Like, you're staying at your house. And he was like, absolutely not. You're not.
Or is anyone else like from the family going? Or is he like,
no.
So it's just Logan and Brandon? No.
And like her boyfriend. And I think he texted Carla about it too.
Yeah.
She said she was down. And then with the last week.
Oh my god. That's almost like what happened with this concert. I bought 4 and I only bought 1.
I was saying to Deborah, I was like, imagine if we never checked to like
right now.
Yeah, we're on the way there, we showed up.
I would don't know what I would do.
To be honest with you, the three of us would have ended up getting cheaper tickets than.
Yeah.
True, but whatever.
Well, you guys got cheaper than I did.
Yeah. Well, I think most people.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I was like so sure that I bought it.
Oh, I know. The way you texted us.
Yeah.
I know you believed that.
Yeah.
I know you were like, oh yeah.
I
I got this online.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just showing up. He's like, okay, have fun after. Like,
Yeah. That would be wild.
you're just have fun alone.
Yeah. So God.
I can't wait to see your live performance.
Yeah, that's like the most. That's the thing I'm most excited for, and also I hope they like drop the ball.
Did you look at the set list?
No, I didn't want to.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted. That's what I mean. Like I didn't listen to him. I didn't listen to stuff. I just wanted to be full surprise. This is good.
Yeah.
And the songs that we know.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I care about.
It's kind of funny though. That who was doing, he just started doing a tour, presumably for them.
Yeah.
Not that it's just nobody.
They're not classics.
They didn't get the recognition.
No. It's not from his era.
No, the people going to the concert are wanting to listen to them.
Yeah.
They probably don't know.
I didn't really. I mean, I did, but I never listened to it. I listened to it a little bit. Like,
I did a little bit, but I like you're like.
yeah. I didn't leave my house. I didn't do any. Well, I spoke to her and told him I'm not hanging out. But I mean, like, I literally just like vegetated because I was like, I need like to chill. Because like the past like month, I was doing shit with them, and he was like, Jake. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually, yeah. I obviously would have. The thing is, I would have lost money, so I'm glad that I'm actually going.
What would you actually have done? You actually did not.
I would have sold it. Or I would have asked, like, some, like, people in Toronto. Yeah. But I also was like, I have some friends in Toronto that would probably to do that. You know what I mean? And if a random person like only see it festivals, like
Yeah.
Oh, so that's always
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I probably would have just.
Now we're having a poor credit.
I would have wasted money for sure. It's so annoying that they don't tell you that it's USD.
I know. Well, you just gotta look for it.
Like really hard, yeah. But it's also annoying because they don't specifically like really tell you that I was buying from third party site.
Yeah, I don't know where you bought it from.
It was called, I think it was something weird. But it was through Ticketmaster. Like the emails, everything I received was through Ticketmaster.
Well, that's because the tickets themselves originated from Ticketmaster. Like I bought mine from Ithaca,
Oh, that's
but the
resell.
tickets were sent to me through Ticketmaster.
Yeah, like that's probably what it was. Or something like that. I don't have like anything. I have. What else do I have this month? I have going. I have something else going on.
But that's gonna be chill. You're gonna have to be on it.
Well, that's the same weekend as camping though, so it all just like ties in.
Well, that's separate event.
Yeah, but like, but I don't like I can actually have a chill month because I was looking at my time before I leave for Asia. Like, I don't want to be spending a lot of money or doing lots of stuff. So yeah, I usually go October 22nd to November 15th.
Did you guys buy your Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think it's like
Yeah, so I have all I have is your birthday, camping, and something beyond, and Oktoberfest. The only things that I want to keep.
Long Branch is our next
Well,
station
now,
stop.
like, the
Long Branch. And once again, the following coaches are not opening their doors at Long Branch Station.
That won't be that much.
Those coaches are numbered 306, 4156,
I know, I need to really start
4206,
Yeah.
4054, 4115, 4241,
Like, oh well, I guess I can
and
do that.
finally
Yeah,
20. Those are the 7 most rear coaches of this train, so if you're looking to exit at Long Branch, you must now make your way through the train in the direction you're traveling. So you find me in coach number 2550 where the doors will open.
Saturday I went out to buy running shoes that were on sale for like $80 and I ended up spending $350 on a bunch of shit. I want to say I live at home. That's my one justification always. I live at home. So.
And you will say it.
Yeah, literally. That's what my mom says right now. And like, it just like, this was not planned at all. I randomly told them I was going to work and they told me, I said, like, hey, they're like, we're moving out on October 22nd. To go like work. We're like, so they were like, yeah, just back after that for like 2 weeks.
That makes me happy because honestly I was scared of doing it.
Yeah, my whole family was. Literally, I freaking Sega, they were all like, man, you have got to figure your shit out before you go there. Like, we do not trust you over there alone. I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to be alone.
Well, I feel like, well, you never traveled alone.
No, I was even scared too, but then I realized that, like I was picturing, like, tiki huts and, like, the jungle. Like, legit, and it, like, that is where I'm going to be. It's literally like Toronto. Like, it's fully grown.
Yeah, but that's almost even worse.
Yeah, fair. But like, it looks so cool though. Like the architecture and like everything is like colorful, like all the buildings are different colors, and you're surrounded by like mountains. Like it looks unreal. But it still is intimidating.
That's why we don't like.
I can't speak a lick of anything.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So I'm pumped too. Like I was like, I think that I wasn't really anticipating how big of a trip it was gonna be, because I was just like, whatever, it's just like a year from now. And now that's getting closer. I'm like, oh shit, thank God people are gonna be here. That would have been like literally like, what do I do? A little bit, but I like fully went on like Amazon and ordered like, well, I haven't ordered yet, but I have like a cart.
We're now arriving at Long Branch.
So much shit, like compression socks and like just random shit that never even thought I needed, like an eye mask. Like, so I'm just gonna make it like the most comfortable thing right after and just like enjoy it. So
that long, I was strongly considering
yeah.
We did it for the way back from Europe. And that was like our longest flight. It was over 7 hours.
Guys, you gotta go. We can't leave until you're out down there.
Our longest one is 11 hours. Like it's a 19-hour haul. Yeah. Yeah, it's like 5 hours to Vancouver, and then to Seoul, and then like 2 hours to Phuket.
Oh, but it's not straight.
No.
Yeah, so
The longest one is 11.
oh, that's long.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'd be considering the extra leg room for that one.
Yeah.
I get it.
Trying to get up?
Yeah. Well, the thing is though, is that I feel like the highest rate of survival is probably
This is long
atlas.
rest, but now you just missed it. Sorry. Yes.
I mean,
Go to the next stop.
We said there
You come back here, but you're gonna want to get.
There's always somebody.
Yeah, you have to like.
Get back, yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's just one more stop.
Yeah, because if there's an emergency, you're the last one to left. You have to help it.
I remember I once sat there and I didn't know. Like, I was I did not sign up for this.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, I was like,
Bottom top, but there's no seat really in front of you.
Yeah.
So you don't.
Yeah.
So your tray is in your arms.
Yeah.
So it pops up in there.
Yeah.
So you can't. You can't like. It's just a little more. It's a little more narrow.
And you also don't have anything to hang your phone on if you want to watch it. Yeah. So.
There's no seat in front of you.
Yeah.
oh, you're
Emma goes our next stop.
But then there are like the extra leg room.
So it is the two of you?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
perfect. We like, he sat on in one corner, I
Yeah.
sat on the other end, in the middle, we put our tray down, had our like put a pad there. And it was so nice. We could like put all the armrests up and like kind of curl
Yeah,
the
yeah,
corners.
yeah.
Like, it was a lot better.
That sounds good.
I mean, it's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do like business.
Oh.
Oh, you got the yard over here, turn.
Yeah, it's part of this minimal yard. Yeah.
I think I recognize this now from my Maple Leaf trip back in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. The resort that we're staying at is the Marriott. I wonder if
Oh yeah, I see it back there. Yeah, okay, beer is on this side. Okay.
we play like games, we play sports, we do like team building. There's like a I think it's like 150. But like this is the
People from Toronto or is it people from like your company? Like,
it's from like everyone, like the Aussies are gonna be there, the UK people are gonna be there, the Asian people are gonna be there, like everyone. Yeah. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited to meet the Europeans and the Aussies. Apparently last year there was like a major beef between them for whatever reason.
between
The Aussies and the UK people, and I was like, that makes sense. They both had more like spunk to them. I feel like that's it. And like we all get our own individual suites, which I'm so pumped for. Like to be able to go back to my own room and not have to talk to everyone.
like an all inclusive,
So yeah, it's pretty much like a resort.
like all your food and everything.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know if the package was that they paid, but like I love it.
Yeah, that's a new
Yeah,
train.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
It's not arriving in Middle.
it's just weird. Like it doesn't seem like it's real. But
Getting warm, there's all the RC pictures. Probably the one to get photos too.
And if they're having problems with those engines like
They're having problems.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, figured.
I don't know what.
Stand clear, doors are closed.
Usually play. But it's normally because it'll be like a older building and they don't want to like pay for the installation of like the tools.
Yeah,
You know, like a Red Bull.
I was thinking that too, but I was thinking like soccer.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Exhibitions are next up.
And that's what you hunt for when you get there.
They definitely have that. It was so funny. So like when we were at Guelph, Like literally, I remember telling myself this time you were not spending a lot today. You spent a lot already. And I'm not even kidding. Like it was like I basically just gave them my wallet. I said, just hand me 4 drinks. I'd be like, don't worry guys, I got this round for like 7. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I wouldn't even look. I would just hit 20% and tap it. And I was like, or not, no, I always do 10, sorry for that. But like still. No, literally, that's the mood it was. However, the one thing I will say though is that like everyone was like paying back. Like people was like, don't worry about it. And like there'd be some time when like I ran up in the crowd and like Ryan would have gone for like a great run. I think like he was gone and he'll just and I have a full drink. So like it was all paid. So like it was I didn't mind, but it was still like fun. Yeah. It's so annoying too. I hate when people start doing rounds. I know I was probably doing it, but then I'm like, well, this is annoying because I don't want to pay for a round by all the time. Yeah. 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 That was like the best. Like I would round just be dancing and she would just like push us like years. And I'm like, yeah, so like Dead House, John Summons, On Rock, Nemo, and what was the other one? There was another name. Oh, Greenbow.
I thought Bell was not just and that was why they had digital free.
Yeah, no Bell was sorry, but always the hard. It's like Dead House is this. He's always the poser, but this year he's on. He's sick. Like it was insane. Well, you know what's so funny? So, I forgot about this. But okay, so like Denos was like a great closer. But you could tell that since John is a closer, and John is like a very tough artist, he was very mainstream. He still is. But you can tell they're like all getting this to John's side. John don't need that actually is. So like we were like getting ready for Denos to get on starting and like there was these kids that were probably like 20 and they were walking by and one kid was trying to that sucked. And I was like literally just looked at Jade and Jade literally like spit on her drink and she was like, get the fuck out of here. Like you have no idea what you're doing to this kid. But it was hilarious. It was so good. He like did an act first where we were like a DJ on it. He was like playing random shit. We were all like, what is this? And then the demo was actually once and if that kid went over the mask on, so no one cared. And like they did this like show that like was an imposter and they like rip off his head and they take off his pants and like try to sneak a guy out. Yeah, and then like Denver was just like off and start ripping and it was so cool. Yeah, it was sick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I actually did a video I can show you. No, they were both always, but it was different sounds. Mainstream. It was like it was. So the guy was like kind of great. He had this whole I love that. I make sure I like that. It's just like stupid, but like I was like, this is a classic that not supposed to do. It was fun, and then like obviously that demo just came on and was like, let's do this. It was so fun.
Oh, that's BMO Field. That's going to be Argonauts playing with the
It was like a blessing and a curse for me.
This is where Exhibition Stadium used to be. Well, right nearby, right near where BMO Field is. That's where Toronto FC plays. Yep, and the Argos too.
Once we arrived at Exhibition, we then caught a streetcar on the 511 line. Here's a couple of shots at the Exhibition loop. On the left is 4429, a 2016 Bombardier Flexity M1 series. And on the right is 4581, a 2019 Flexity M1, both waiting to go in service on either the 509 or 511 routes. 509 service runs out to Union Station, while the 511 runs to Bathurst Station on the TTC's Bloor Street, Danforth Avenue, or 2 subway line. There's 4417 entering 509 service. I just had to get this shot with the Toronto skyline in the background. So we then rode 511 service to our dinner stop at the Wheat Sheaf Tavern on King Street West and Bathurst Street, which is the oldest bar in the city of Toronto. So what did I have? Well, I couldn't help myself and started out with some of the mozzarella sticks. And then a cheeseburger with poutine. Look at that gravy. Doesn't it look good? And yes, I had a beer as well, that Coors Light you see. I got a funny story for you. That night, Lil Wayne was supposed to do a concert at the Budweiser stage, which is a concert venue on East Island in Ontario Place, just south of Exhibition Place. There were incredible crowds in the area that night. Well, Lil Wayne had to cancel his appearance because of an unforeseen illness. So going there we had large crowds, and going home we had large crowds, mostly young concert goers. We had dinner late, and we got back to the hotel late at about, I'd say, 10 p.m. We caught a Lakeshore West train back to Oakville and went back to the hotel, and that was the end of Monday's adventures. It is now Tuesday, our penultimate day up in the Toronto area. This was an on our own day, which means we would all be doing our own separate trips. The group I tagged along with took a Lakeshore West train from Oakville to Union Station in Toronto. From there, we would catch a Lakeshore East train to Oshawa, Ontario. All right, let's take a ride from Union Station to Oshawa.
Out, that's why the tracks are, they skip numbers over there. But I mean, at the original Union Station for, Canadian National, before this corridor was built that we were through, it had to be consecutive number tracks, you know what I mean? So there had to be, some modification. But then again, they got waiting rooms over there too. I guess that's where the waiting rooms were, up to the tracks, and they just sealed the entrances, I guess, They probably sealed the entrances and that's how they skip tracks. Yeah, it looks like 7 single-level cars. And you see this over here. It's incredible. You know, the specs with these engines on them. So they will probably the HEP is small. You know, that's the more engines. They can only do 7. You know, they can pull anything really. They could pull up 1 7 cars. I think it's the HEP. Why they do that? I think Long Island the same way. I think maximum HEP is 6 cars. I have seen 400 series engines, pulling 6 cars. Yeah. Not more than 6 now. No, it's done. The construction was done. We're not. I think we're back to 4 tracks. Yeah, we're back to 4 tracks. I was going to say it was 3, but maybe there was another one on that side. We got 4 tracks over here.
Reminder again for any Rouge local passengers that are exiting at Rouge and require the elevator access due to construction. The elevator is out of service and you will make exit at this next station stop, Guildwood. stop will be Rochelle. stop will be Pickering. Tunnel hall to the doors at Pickering Tunnel hall.
the Subaru, like the, Toyota, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Honda, yeah, we had both.
I said Nissan, I wouldn't even. Well, you have no pointers on that bus right there.
Wherever arriving on Durham College, Oshawa, Go, Station. Arrivé à La Gare Route de Durham College, Oshawa.
Yeah, this is it.
Doors will be opening on the left side if you're facing the direction that we're currently traveling. At Durham College, Oshawa Go Station. On behalf of the operating crew and Go Transit, we hope you enjoyed the trip. Have a pleasant rest of your day, and please stay hydrated. Again, this is the final station stop on this trip.
Yeah. Except gold buses.
Oshawa, Ontario is about 37 miles east of Toronto. If you followed the NHL for the past 30 years, this is where Eric Lindros and John Tavares played their junior hockey. Plus, former New York Ranger Sean Avery and former New Jersey Devil John McClain are from Oshawa. Here's the lone photo I took all day. This is GO Transit Locomotive 634 at the Durham College Oshawa station. This is a late noughties, early 2010s MP40 PH-3C made by Motive Power Industries, which was once a subsidiary of American engineering company Morrison Knudsen. The MP stands for Motive Power, the 40 stands for 4,000 horsepower, the PH stands for Passenger Head-End Equipment, and the 3 stands for a number of computerized control systems, while the C stands for either a Caterpillar or Cummins diesel engine. We then rode back to Union Station and caught a TTC Line 1 subway train. Line 1 is also known as the Yonge Street University Avenue line. Its 2 terminals are the Vaughan Metropolitan Center on the western side in Vaughan, Ontario, and Finch Street on the eastern side, and it is the longest of the 4 lines that are currently active as of this video. We caught a Finch-bound train 3 stops to Dundas Station. Here we see the train. This is a Toronto rocket consist made by Bombardier in the early 2010s. The reason we went to Dundas Station was to go to the Eaton Centre Mall in downtown Toronto. It wasn't just a lunch stop. I personally wanted to buy some souvenirs to bring home back to the States. In case you're wondering, I didn't want to eat much until dinner, so I found a Baskin-Robbins and I had to have 2 scoops of cookie dough ice cream. And I was able to get a good amount of trinkets to bring home, thanks to a store called the Canadian Naturalist. As soon as we were done at Eaton Centre, we got back on the 1-line subway and took a Vaughan-bound train to Spadina Road, where there is a connection with the 2-line, aka the Bloor Street Danforth Avenue line at St. George Station, which runs between Kipling Avenue on the west, which also serves GO Transit Railroad's Milton line, and Kennedy Road, Eglinton Avenue on the east, which will eventually connect to Line 5. Here's a late 1990s T1 consist, also made by Canadian manufacturer Bombardier, which has also produced subway cars for the New York City subway, as well as rail cars for the Long Island and Metro-North railroads. There is one thing I want to show you. Line 2, with the exception of the 2 stations after Kennedy, is all underground. Here's one outdoor section. This is over the Prince Edward Viaduct between Castle Frank Road and Broadview Avenue. As you can see, it kind of caught me off guard, and my camera control wasn't exactly top-notch. A while later, we transferred at Yonge Bloor Station to the 1 line, and we went back to Union Station to catch a rush-hour Lakeshore West train back to Oakville for dinner. We went to eat at Harvey's, which is a popular fast food chain in Canada. I guess you can call it the Canadian version of Carl's Jr. or Hardee's. It is owned by Recipe Unlimited, which also owns Swiss Chalet, which is where we dined on Sunday night. Here's what I had: a cheeseburger with chicken bacon ranch poutine. I'm telling you, I went all in on this vacation, didn't I? So we went back to the hotel afterwards, and thus concludes our final full day in Canada. It is now Wednesday, our 5th and final day of the trip. After breakfast at the Tim Hortons on Cross Avenue, I checked out and got on our bus at 8 a.m. to make our way back home. We had an easy border crossing back into the United States, and we arrived in Buffalo, New York a little before 10:30 a.m. We stopped off at North Division and Ellicott Streets to get photos and video of both buses and the light rail, which is operated by the Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority, or NFTA. Here we have NFTA Bus 1614. This is the 2016 Nova Bus LFS-NG running in 77 service. Buffalo does use some natural gas-powered buses. In the background is Salem Field. That's the home of the Buffalo Bisons, which is the AAA minor league affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's a brand new bus, 2466, a 2024 Nova Bus LFS in 14A service. The 14A route terminates at a shopping mall in West Seneca. Here we have somewhat of an oldie, 1201, a 2012 Gillig low-floor 40-foot hybrid electric. And this is one of the oldest buses actively running in Buffalo, 1023, a 2010 Gillig low-floor 40-footer. 1620 in 20 service, you got another 2016 Nova Bus LFS-NG. 1705 is a 2017 Nova Bus LFS natural gas. And now we head to Main Street. On the left is 1816 in 5 service, a 2018 Nova Bus LFS-NG model. On the right, we've got 2267 in 2B service. That's a 2022 Nova Bus LFS diesel. And here we have 1816 all by itself. 1901 in 20 service. 1901 is a 2019 Nova Bus LFS-NG. Here we got 2324 running in 6 service, 2023 Nova Bus LFS. 1603, another 2016 Nova Bus LFS natural gas model running in 3 service. 2469 in 2A service, one of the brand new 2024 Nova Bus LFS buses. Here's 1803 running in 3 service, another 2018 Nova Bus LFS. On the left, we got 2472, a brand new 2024 Nova Bus LFS in 15 service, while on the right, we've got 2262 in 2A service, another 2022 Nova Bus LFS model. And here's 1052. This is a 2010 40-foot low-floor Gillig model in 6 service. Now check out the wrap. 2024 was the 50th anniversary of NFTA Metro bus service. 1623 in 20 service, a 2016 Nova Bus LFS natural gas model with a Roswell Park wrap ad. Roswell Park is a cancer treatment center in Buffalo. Here's 1902 in 25D service, a 2019 Nova Bus LFS-NG. 1907 in 77 service, yet another 2019 Nova Bus LFS natural gas model. By the way, that's St. Paul's Episcopal Cathedral in the background. 2321 in 15 service, that's a Nova Bus LFS from 2023. Here's 2471 in 4B service with the cathedral in the background, another brand new 2024 Nova Bus LFS. 1601 in 3 service, more Nova Bus LFS natural gas equipment from the year 2016. And here's a closer shot of 1052. That's the 2010 Gillig low floor with the 50th anniversary wrap. And here's the last bus shot, which is 2322, a 2023 Nova Bus LFS. And now some photos and video of Buffalo's light rail. The Metro Light Rail runs from the University at Buffalo South Campus to Canalside Station in downtown Buffalo. During events at the KeyBank Center, which is the home of the NHL's Buffalo Sabres, the light rail will terminate at the Special Events Station at KeyBank Center. In 2026, there are plans to extend the line down to the old Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western Station just south of the arena. All of the light rail vehicles are from the year 1984. These are Buffalo LRV models made by the Japanese company Tokyu Car Corporation, which is now known as Japan Transport Engineering Company, or JTREC, which also makes rail equipment for most of the transit systems in Japan and East Asia. And they also made Metro North's late 1980s M4 equipment that runs on the New Haven branch. Here's a photo of 108 headed towards Canalside. 127 also Canalside bound. Here we got 123. This one's headed north toward the university. 117 just left the Church Street station on its way down south to Canalside. And here's another southbound 115 at the Church Street stop. And now, here's some video footage. Just before noon, we stopped off at our lunch stop at the world-famous Anchor Bar on Main and North Streets. Anchor Bar is where the buffalo wing was invented back in the 1960s. Now, did I have wings? Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not really a chicken wing kind of guy. Here's what I had. First, some mozzarella sticks. I know, I can't help it. And now here's the main meal, roast beef on weck. This is a Western New York staple. It's roast beef served on a kummelweck roll. Kummelweck is basically a Kaiser roll with coarse salt and caraway seeds. It was good, I don't mind telling you that. By the way, in case you're wondering, that white stuff is horseradish. I thought it was coleslaw, and as soon as I ate it, well, let's just say my tongue was on fire. Lesson learned. Unfortunately, I have no more transit photos or video to show you. After stopping off at a service station, we made our way to our dinner stop at the Park Diner in Binghamton, New York at about 5 p.m. Now, earlier I'd eaten so much and I was still so full that all I had was French toast. It wasn't bad, but not as good as the one I make at home, but I liked it. There was a rainstorm earlier, so we had a nice little rainbow to look at along the Susquehanna River. We would finally arrive in New York City a little after 10 p.m., and we would go our separate ways. And thus concludes this presentation. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until our next encounter.